Hi guys, Figure-Boi here, back with another video, and today I thought I'd do an updated collection overview to follow up on the one that I did last year, which is just 3 minutes, and I was really silent, as in literally silent. I didn't say a word. So I thought I would basically go into more detail with my collection this time, and actually give a bit of story to some of them. So let's begin here, which is the small DVD shelf, I like to call it, because my Freddy Funko is over here. I got this from a local game shop for 30 quid, where they'd imported it over from Funko Shop America. This was long before they started selling Funko exclusives on EMP. I apologise for all the dust that you may see in this video. I don't dust these, and I might at some point, which is most likely never. But yeah, I will. Well, I say I will, but the thing is, it's just going to get dusty anyway. And I do sometimes attempt, like with the Star Wars stands over here, which they do get really dusty easy. But I probably won't. But if they do get seriously dusty and grubby and stuff starts hanging off, then that's when I'm going to take the initiative, because I'm an out-of-box collector, so yeah, I don't keep them in the box, because the figures are supposed to be out. So yeah, so there's Freddy Funko. He's kind of a knobhead, really, but and we've got Stanley hiding over here. This is the, I don't know if you can see, but this is the red superhero version from 2016, I think. The Freddy Funko I got is the one which he's holding the Funko Shop sign. I just wanted a generic one. I did try to get the old one, but it was way too expensive. Besides, I'm happy with this. I don't really care. And I've got all my large Game of Thrones pops over here. So you've got like the White Walker on the horse, which is a good pop, but it's such a shame that the finale was shit. Juragon, that actually used to be one of my rarest Game of Thrones pops, but now it's kind of declined in value. But yeah, I had to get one of the big dragons, and obviously Juragon is the main one because that's the only one people actually care about. That's from the Battle of the Bastards episode, and the Zombie Mountain, which actually has the helmet on, because the other one looks like a weird Varys mutant. And I've got the Iron Throne from New York Comic Con 2015, I think. Sorry if I get the dates wrong. I'm convinced it was 2015, which you can basically put any pop on it, because they did come out with a new lot of Iron Throne pops, but the figures were stuck to the stands. Yeah, cool pops, but, you know, like I said, Series 8 was terrible. So we got some My Hero Academia over here. I kind of got into it a bit late, so I have to shove a lot of them in this corner over here, so I've got some gaps here. And my favourite of the three is probably Shigaraki. I mean, Mount Lady's pretty cool, and so is Momo, but yeah, this pop stands out the most for me. And he's actually a male. So yeah, before you start calling me simp. Right, here we have some of the sequel Star Wars pops. I got some from The Force Awakens, because I got Poe Dameron before I got the helmeted one. And I thought I'd get a Snap Wax. They use one of my favourite characters from the sequel trilogy, because he's like the fat one, and he seems really cool. And I read a backstory on him. Like, it's a really awesome fan fiction about him having like this reprogrammed battle droid. But yeah, I thought that was cool at the time. Don't really care so much now, but still think he's a cool character, and I like his helmet design. Very unique for each of them. Well, not so him, but that one, but you know what I mean. And from the awful Last Jedi, which I think they're still called pops, because I really love the Ice Fox. Ice Fox? Why do I call it Ice Fox? The Crystal Fox, sorry. Ice Fox, Crystal Fox, sorry. Salty. Yeah, and just to top it off, I needed a Lieutenant Connix, because she's Princess Leia's daughter in real life, if you didn't know. And we have, which I think I read some of that. I thought this was supposed to be Lando's daughter, apparently, according to the book. I don't know how true that is, but frankly, no one cares because it's all shite. So yeah, there is that part of the shelf, and now I will be moving on to the main shelf, as I like to call it. Next up, we have the main shelf, as I like to call it. It's quite big, as you can see. I remember pestering my dad to have this put up for ages, to have this shelf put up, because originally I used to be like in box. I used to have like a row of 20 like going across, but I'm so glad I'm out of box, because I wouldn't have half as much and it'd be taking up my I can't believe I even considered. It looks so much better. Anyway, here we go. Right, so I actually collect pop vinyls by having like a list. So if you're wondering what you're talking about, you have plenty of space. It's almost like I kind of do it to a list, if you know what I mean. And sometimes I write stuff in if there's something that comes out that I hadn't initially thought of. But it always works out in the end, and some of my rows are actually nearly complete. My Game of Thrones collection is just needing one more character, but I don't know if they'll ever make it, which is Robert Baratheon, but I don't think they'll make that Game of Thrones pop. And Doctor Who is kind of a dead end, because Funko doesn't really understand what kind of pops for Doctor Who that we'd want. New Doctors, David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston villains. But no, they're going to focus on 13th Doctor pops, by the sounds of it. Which won't be too bad, because I just need a Jadoon to go with the Vashta Nerada, but I'd still really like some more Doctor Who pops. I'd probably not like a full row, because I'm hoping they might do some Merlin pops, but that's probably a long shot, but still, I'll just use the space, I guess, for something else if it never comes to that. But here we have, let's just start here, then I'll go back. So a lot of my older pops are here, so like Grails and like sets that are all part of like a set go here, like Futurama and stuff. But I'll go through all of them, because I think what I tried to do in the earlier one, before I decided to do it silently, is I kept forgetting to mention certain things. I was like, I should have mentioned that and that. Why did you forget? So maybe I might try to sorry, with my bear. That's just the way I am. Right, because I don't know how to speak anymore. It's being in lockdown has caused me to forget how to speak. Right, so yeah, let's just begin. So yeah, I'll generalise it before I kind of went a bit weird then. So we start with Rick Grimes. This is not actually my first version of this pop. Originally I ordered one on Amazon, and they sent me a dodgy one with the gun missing, so I ended up having to buy a new one at Liverpool, which was good. So yeah, finally, and I've paired him with Heisenberg over here, which I also got from that game shop, which I won't give them a direct shout out. But yeah, I haven't forgotten. I got both my Water Whites from there, actually. That's funny. Right, I didn't get Jesse, but I'm really madly into it now, so hopefully they'll come out with a new set and I get, like, all 5 of the missing characters. Probably won't get any more Walter Whites or anything like that, but I will definitely get the other characters that were made originally part of the original set. But I probably won't bother with Skylar or Walter Jr. or anything like that, but I'd really like to see characters like Hector and the cousins made, because that'd be really good to return, especially with Better Call Saul's last series next year. Here we have Data. I'm just going to be plainly honest. I just like Data, but I haven't even completed Star Trek The Next Generation, but I just love his character, like, seriously. He's just, like, the best. Right, Ted flocked. Yeah, I could have got this for like $60.99 at the time, but I kind of just did a lastminute.com and spent 25 quid on one, which was probably not a good idea, but I still like it, and I would have always felt stupid if I never got it. Butch, which I got alongside Data at Comic-Con, I did a video on that. Really hoping they come out with new Pulp Fiction pops. I had my hopes up because I thought that they were doing Pulp Fiction exclusive for Comic-Con, but then it turned out to be Wallace Wells from, what's it called? Scott Pilgrim. Disappointing. Yeah, because I thought it was going to be Marcellus Wallace. But I still might not have got it, because I would have preferred the one from the basement scene. because it said on phone. I was thinking the only time he was on his phone was during the he wasn't really. No, was he? He was on his phone next to the pool, I think, at his house, wasn't it? Yeah, because that'd be weird. Like, I hate it when Funko makes the most pointless of pops. It's almost like, why you're wasting perfect opportunities. Like, you don't need a variant that specific, and people will only want it because it's supposedly rare, and then once you've got it, it's just, well, anyway. I'm going to be quick about this. I don't want to drag on for too long. But here we have Sheldon and SpongeBob. The older versions, and I probably could have waited to get the new ones and saved a bit of money, but still, I've got some from both sets. And let's just be quick about this. So we have some other movie pops now here. Gremlins, Hannibal, and a whole lot of other cool stuff. Pretty neat. With Slimer probably being my favourite of the pops here. Definitely, probably one of the best pops ever made, let's be plainly honest here. In comparison to the new one they've made, this is just absolute gold. Did they ever do a golden variant? No, they did. No, they did a golden variant of SpongeBob, but I don't think they did a golden variant of Slimer. I wouldn't be surprised if they did do one now. Here we have some DC, so it's a mixed bunch with my favourite being Batgirl over here, even though she's got like a black splodge here, which looks like pen ink. But yeah, whatever. I was annoyed that I couldn't get the old version, because it did come out with like a new mould, which was like the old version, which was in a black suit, and technically he could have repainted that. Would have looked so tacky there. But anyway, here we are, a Wonder Woman hiding over there. Some DreamWorks with Shrek. Oh yes, get in my swamp. Some T-Rex from Jurassic Park with John Hammond and Alan Grant over here. Here we have Grease, Rick and Morty with Summer over here. Some Walking Dead. South Park, which is alright line. I mean, the black eyes don't necessarily work in this instance. But I think, yeah, I'm not too asked anymore. It was the Butters one, like the first Butters, that was the most terrible one. And the Family Guy pops are so, like, underrated. I mean, they looked bad at the time, but now I don't think they're that bad. And I really want a Lois and a Quagmire to top this off. Then they should probably come up with new variants of these three over here. I never actually completed the set because there was another Stewie, but I didn't bother in the end. I had considered possibly doing a lastminute.com and getting one just to be complete. So I was like, no. I'm going to step my foot down and say no, because it's just unnecessary and just a waste of a spot. Even though it wouldn't take up too much, but still I'd rather not. I want to prove that I don't have to always complete it. Besides, it's like 20 quid now just for another Stewie. No. Here we have not DreamWorks, Dragon Ball. Sorry, it's just the Go Dragon Ball. Yeah. With Android 18 over here. You can't really see her, but she's over there. Can we get a glimpse? Yes, we can. Right. Goku is probably one of my other top 10. Oh no, you know what? Don't take my top 10 seriously. I love them all. I mean, top a million. They're all great. But a lot of these pops really hold a special place in my heart. Finally, we have Simpsons. Simpsons. Finally, new Simpsons pops. I should have done a review of these, to be honest, but I never got around to it. But yeah. Finally. So I'm going to get Marge and Krusty from the Treehouse of Horror, and I still collect other ones other than just the original 4 that they made. But yeah, just to be nostalgic or whatever, because I missed out on those. It's almost like finally you have all 4 of the originals in some sense, I guess. Like half and half. You've got 2 from the official Simpsons and line, and 2 from the Treehouse of Horror ones. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the comic book guy one. I will have to get that from the Entertainer. So Batman and Batwoman, just so you know, I don't watch the Batwoman show. I'm not a fan of it. I got it because I read the original Batwoman comic back when it was first, the first part of it, second part of it, because I used to collect like these, I think it was Panini or something, used to have like these books down at, comic books down back at, whatever it was called, W.H. Smith, but I'm attempting to track down some of the actual stories that I read and attempting to rebuy them in trade paperback, because that'd be good. Because I've already done that for like the Justice League one. Well, obviously I didn't buy it; someone gave it to me, but I love it. Nostalgic. I never actually managed to finish collecting the whole series, so it was finally good to know it ends, even though it was quite simplistic, to be fair. I don't really need to show off the Harry and Draco, because I already did a video with them snogging one another. Take that out of context. Salazar and the Chase one, which I spent way too much on in the end, because it ended up like decreasing in value. I was so desperate to get it at the time because I loved that when it came out, but now I'm starting to think I don't think it's half as bad as I initially thought. I think it's because it's the first Pirates of the Caribbean that I've actually watched in full and haven't just been drifting away with it on the telly in the background. So even though it got poor reviews, you know what, I'll watch it again. I probably still like it. We've got Scooby-Doo and Shaggy over here, the new ones. Tom and Jerry hiding over here. The Lord of the Rings, so I finally have all the Lord of the Rings pops I want now, with Gollum hiding over there. And Invisible Frodo, which makes it for the fact that I didn't buy Invisible Bilbo. Why? Oh, I was so stupid. Why didn't I buy it? Anyway, but I guess that makes up for it. A lot of stuff makes up for stuff. The Friends set I've nearly completed. They're coming out with a new Ross and a new Chandler in his bunny costume, so I'll get those into a review as soon as they're out. Futurama. The Toy Nami figures are really expensive now, so I'm really glad that I've got like Futurama figures in some sense, and I just need a Kif Kroker now if they do make one, and then I've got all of them from Series 1, but I don't know if they're going to return to Futurama anytime soon, but I really want them to make the superhero versions of them all. That'd be pretty neat. It'll probably be a Comic-Con exclusive, but I have to try really hard to get it. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video now, and I will go on to the second bit, because it's like 13 minutes this bit. So yeah, and we'll go on to the next shelf, and I do that like 3 more times, I guess. Unless I quickly do it now. Actually, you know, I'll do the next part. I'm not going to edit this out. I just wanted to say welcome to Jurassic Park. Right, so let's have a look at the rest of the rows on here. I think I'm going to do it all in one go. So yeah, like before, this is like Doctor Who. I grouped a ton of Doctors together. These were actually from STCC 2015. I got both Doctors for that year. Peter Capaldi was just sitting in the Film Planet Bold Street window. The box is really damaged, but I took it because he was rare. I'm actually glad, because they made a ton of spacesuit variants on the Doctor. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's the same body as most of them. The only difference is for the David Tennant one, they actually had printing on the back. I mean, it just got so lazy, but yeah. Tom Baker, the best Doctor in my opinion, in the classic Who, next to the other best Doctor, David Tennant, in 3D glasses. I did a post for William Hartnell, because I always wanted to take a picture of him in black and white and see how it looked, so I did. So yeah, closest you're going to get to any more classic Doctor Who pops. With Sarah Jane and K9, because this is actually like a classic outfit version, which is very peculiar, but then again, I suppose anything's possible these days. Yeah, and then we get into New Who territory, with the Daleks, Cybermen, etc., etc., with Sherlock on the end, and yeah, Clara is actually going up in value by the looks of it on eBay, and another one that I often tend to forget I even own is Rory. in his Centaurian outfit. And Amy, they never made the normal one in the end, so I ended up having to get the police suit version from the 11th hour. But still, I like it, and I probably won't bother to get the normal one, even if it does eventually get made. It was numbered and everything featured on the back of the box. It's stupid, man. Anyway, like I said, Game of Thrones is practically complete now. I haven't really got much to say, except I think that I still like them all if I'm thinking about the books rather than the ending to the awful TV show. But yeah, because it won't take a lot to destroy that Night King pop over there. Here we have Stranger Things hiding in the background. So yeah, that's Stranger Things with the Chase variants next to each other. Spoiler alert, Hopper is alive, but they kind of spoiled that already with the trailer, but we all knew he was going to come back. Yeah, and now he looks more like 11 now, because he's got shaved hair. He's got shaved hair, yeah. So he's, even though they're not physically related, it's almost like father, like daughter at this point. There you go. And, oh yeah, I forgot. Instead of any more Stranger Things pops on the end, I have some new Big Bang Theory, The Office with Angela's Wonderful Eyes, and the Riverdale ones with Archie and Jughead. So yeah, but I've kind of been debating whether I should have waited for the comic version, but if I hadn't waited, then I wouldn't have Betty and Veronica, so yeah, in comic form. So anyway, I've got them all now, and I'm talking about something completely unrelated to Marvel, well, panning on the Marvel pops. But yeah, I've split it into comics over here, and movie stuff over here. So yeah, been a bit fast. But yeah, that's more or less it. I haven't really got anything to say, except that I've kind of just said, at this point, it doesn't matter, just cram as much as you want on there, as long as it adds up to an alright number of Marvel pops in the end. I don't really mind, so long as it fits. And I've got a movie moment hiding behind here, but I really want them to make a Nick Fury. He's getting his own show at some point, and hopefully I thought they were going to make one for the new Spider-Man film, but they didn't. I don't know if they were ever planning to, but because of that stupid Sony thing, it was almost, in the end they made a J. Jonah Jameson, which is, it's just whatever, man. You know what, sod it. Let's just close this MCU row off with Odin, played by Anthony Hopkins, and it's the only Loki pop I actually left around. I did consider getting one without the helmet, but I didn't bother in the end. Yeah, and with the comics, I just absolutely love. I think I prefer this row. Actually, I don't know, I kind of like both rows, but I love the Fantastic Four set. That's the original Silver Surfer over here. Yeah. But if you think about it, if they never made any more Fantastic Four pops, at least I could say I had a Fantastic Four pop. But yeah, they were always going to make one, but then again, they could have been exclusive. Oh well, anyway, well they didn't. Yeah, I guess that's it for the main shelf, and now I'll showcase some of my Star Wars ones. Hi guys, Figure-Boi, I am back, and today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars ones. Yeah, I'm saying today because there's been a couple of days between me recording those last videos that you have just seen. I'm combining it all into one. Hence this very inconsistent video is created where I introduce myself yet again. Alright? So, and I won't bother to cut that out because, you know, I'm a bit lazy to say the least. And you just saw my DVDs all stacked on there. Anyway, let's just continue, shall we? So, in this case, I've split it into two sections here. We've got, the originals and the sequels. This is not all the Star Wars pops I own. There's another lot on top of the other shelf, which I'll show off second, because I've suddenly decided to start here for some reason, so I suppose it doesn't really matter, but let's focus on the newer pops first, because I've actually got, perhaps a lot more to say. So, my rarest one is in the corner, next to General Grievous. Qui-Gon Jinn, which I managed to get from Planet Wolverhampton, who reserved it before, but that was before they changed their policy, by the way. because there was a time they were used to be able to do that, which actually made collecting a lot easier back in the day. Yeah, it wouldn't matter these days because Funko Europe doesn't send any SDCC exclusives over anymore. You get one, it's like My Little Pony or something, and that's exclusive to GameStop France or something. So, you know, whatever. But probably still get it. I recommend Pop Culture if you want to import exclusives over. I mean, it can be a bit extra, but probably still cheaper, especially with EMP overpricing everything. 22 quid an exclusive, plus the $3.99 postage on top of that. But you get an extra sticker as a free gift, so that's always good, isn't it? Anyway, I like the stickers. I shove them all over my shelf. Anyway, back to the point. So there's Qui-Gon Jinn. He's worth a lot. Next, we have General Grievous, who is also worth a lot now. I say I don't care. You know, I collect them because I like them, but it makes me very happy to know that one day I could be a millionaire. So just from selling all these pops, which I'll never sell these pops. These are just great. I love them. I need to take. Sometimes I need to take a breather, but yeah, I always love all my pops. In the end, I just long for the old days really of Funko Pop collecting. Next we have Commander Cody, Order 66, Mace Windu and Anakin. Some Smugglers Bounty ones that I've grouped all together in Obi-Wan. Count Dooku and the sexy Aayla Secura. One of the many blue... Sorry, I was thinking about it just then. I lost the ability to speak. One of the many blue beauties of the world, despite her weird things on her head, those tentacle things, whatever they're called. Young Anakin and Padmé Amidala from the Battle of Geonosis, the best battle in all of Star Wars, for many reasons. Some bounty hunter ones in Dengar and Boba Fett, which is the jetpack one, also a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive. And we've got an elephant here, aka Max Rebo, which was one of the first Specialty Series pops. They don't really do many Star Wars Specialty Series pops anymore. As for a Specialty Series, it's just been a way of Funko making random pops that nobody wants and then putting an exclusive sticker on it. Next, we have the Clone Wars pops. I think I might get one more. I'm hoping they make a Ventress pop. The Captain Rex, probably the rarest of the three, which I kind of last minute bought through Pop Culture because they didn't make it available over here. So yeah, and some Christmas ones in Yoda and Chewbacca. And I thought I dropped one of them when coming out of Comic-Con, but luckily it turns out it was in another bag, so thank God for that. Holo Leia and R2-D2. Holo Leia, I call her Holo Leia to save me saying holographic. Glows in the dark, which is pretty neat, because sometimes at night I see a random glow coming from the shelf, and then I realise it's just Leia. Oh, thank God for that. Next, we have no ghosts. R2-D2, which they didn't need to include. I wanted just her, but they decided, you know what, let's make it a 2-pack, then we get extra money, don't we? Yeah, it's at least it's different to the R2-D2 I already own. Annoyingly, it doesn't come off the stand. So good job I have two, doesn't it? Especially if I wanted to do a photo shoot, which I did ages ago. I had that as an old Facebook profile picture back in the day, bloody hell. Luke, which is the Dagobah one. I got the Lego set with this variation in, but I decided I'd just get the pop vinyl anyway. Because I needed one of them, and I think that was the best option, because I don't think I had a Luke, like an original trilogy Luke as part of my new, I split it into two. I split it into old, and even though there's like 2 new ones on there, just because the other 2, which would make up the 30, that would fit there. Well, obviously one of them's normal size, but the Wampa is too big. It's too big to fit. So that's why there's going to be 2 new ones over that shelf, which I'll show in a minute. And Lando and Palpatine. I never got the original Lando because I saw it at Wolverhampton and I thought the paint job was awful. And I just said, sod it, I think I can do without. But about 5 years later, they come out with a new one, plus a new Palpatine, because I only had the holographic one, which you'll see in a bit. I think I might speed it up when I get to the sequel trilogy, because frankly, you probably don't care. But I might make some comments on some the ones that I've shoved in the middle here. And yeah, we've got a chrome Darth Vader. Like, they also made a chrome hollow layer, well, the same mold as the hollow layer, which I could have, if I had like $1 billion, I would have, and would have known that they were going to come out with that. I would have bought the chrome blue one, and then I would have an extra space. Yeah. But I've altered my list slightly, so I'm probably passing on a couple characters I would have got and substituting them in with different characters, because I've got back into Lego now. I've got a lot of versions of these characters in Lego form, like from battle packs and stuff like that. I said, you know what, how about you free yourself up a couple spaces with some new characters, and instead, you know, because that's always cool, isn't it? New characters rather than buying the same characters you already own. Right, Ben Kenobi, which came in like the Vault edition box rather than the box art that the Blue Snaggletooth came in, which is the chase version from the Smuggler's Bounty, which both of them are from Smuggler's Bounty, by the way, which is if you don't know what Smuggler's Bounty is, it was basically like the Star Wars subscription box that I wanted to subscribe to back in the day. I'm so glad I didn't subscribe, especially when they, how much it would have cost, plus it came to Forbidden Planet anyway, like a year later. But anyway, I think that's it. I mean, there's a lot more I could say about each one, but you'd be here forever. But Dark Ray in the middle, I know it's not, you know, classic trilogy and original trilogy, classic trilogy, and the prequel trilogy. But I think in this case, what goes in the middle doesn't really count, because I've kind of said that acts as a separate divide. So yeah, and you know, okay, I'm going to be plainly honest, I don't completely hate Disney Star Wars, and I can definitely see people's like opinions and how it's, technically you could call this a complete waste of money, but the fact is, I actually like some of it, and I have some positive memories, regardless of, you know, what was it? What's the name of the film? The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, with Last Jedi, I definitely thought this was going to go downhill. Yeah, I still think they're really good design figures, regardless of this toxic character, apparently. But I still like the pink hair. So even though she's a bit old now, but she looked good in Jurassic Park though. Right, and just to top off that bit, we have Thrawn in the middle from Rebels. I didn't get any Rebels pops. Yeah, because I don't really care for Rebels. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Flock Chewbacca, probably the best in this whole thing here. And Admiral Akbar from The Force Awakens as well. Because the classic, I'm going to keep calling it the classic trilogy just to piss everyone off, is, well, that figure, like in the classic trilogy, is like long vaulted, and I would get that one if I could, but I won't now because I got this. Yeah. Was there any last comments I wanted to make? Oh yeah, Snoke being a wasted character. Got to be careful with flock pops. I noticed in my when I was checking over the footage that my Ted pop had some bits of fluff all over it, which made it look a bit weird. But turns out, yeah, it was nothing. I didn't cut myself over it with my sharp nails. Turns out it was just fluff. So, yeah, thank God. Just so I did notice that. And if I'd known about the blue one of Han Solo in the snow gear in Force Awakens, I keep saying Force Awakens over and over again just so you know what I'm talking about, was going to be so common, I would have got that one instead of this one, perhaps, especially when I ended up getting a second variant over here. So yeah, guess that's it for that. But like I say, I still think they're cool pops, but I can, yeah, they don't stand out as much anymore. Well, actually, I still think they stand out to me. They stand out to me, all right. Anyway, let's go on to the next bit, which is just up ahead. So after the original minute that I said I'd take to show you this, which turned into like 3 minutes. These are the old Star Wars pops from ages ago. And I keep doing this with the camera just so I can actually properly showcase without slipping off my chair. So originally I was dismissive when I first got the Gandalf one. No, it might be before, because I'd seen these and I'd considered collecting them, but they were bobbleheads, so I probably could have got like a couple at the time, but I never really got round to it, and now I have practically a lot of big classic ones. Not all of them, obviously. Some of them did remain vaulted. I'd hope that they'd re-release some of them after they re-released a batch before The Force Awakens came out. Sorry, choke then. But they didn't. So I guess I'm substituting characters like Jar Jar Binks with characters like Watto, and I've got a droid's version of Boba Fett, which I saw at Game. I got it for 20 quid, so that was pretty good, because they have like an earlier version of this, which is obviously the old mold, that kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Over here. Yeah, my arm aches, so I'm going to try cut this short, but this is another one of my rarest pops, and there's a story to this. I made a bunch of eBay offers, and trying to see if I could get this for 25 quid at the time. Obviously no one accepted that compared to how much it was already going for at the time. But I managed to find one in Liverpool for 15 quid, so yeah, that was good. So crazy satisfied with that. And the holographic Emperor was my first ever Star Wars pop, and I remember getting that. Very sad times, knowing how things go so fast. And that Spirit Yoda should bloody glow blue, not bloody green, but I probably won't get any more. Anyway, I'm done. Okay, so this is the last bit of the Star Wars pops that are upstairs. So it's just basically some remaining Force Awakens ones, some from Solo, Rogue One, and The Mandalorian, with some daubs in front. Yeah, not really much to say, except that I got a thin one from Toys R Us, when they still had one at Town Centre, which wasn't around for very long, and the Poe Dameron one, which originally I was just going to get the one without the helmet, but I didn't think the Walmart exclusives would ever come here, but eventually they did, so yeah, I guess I have both now. And yeah, the classic, my favourite Rey and BB-8 back when there was still hope, but now there is none. Except I'm going to look forward to anything that Disney dishes out. Dishes, even though The Mandalorian is a bit hit and miss, and the Baby Yoda was obviously an easy marketing technique by Jon Favreau. But I suppose I think I prefer him to Dave Filoni and his bloody cowboy hat. Who does he think he is? I mean, oh yeah, they did say Star Wars was a Western, so maybe he takes that a bit too seriously, but you know, whatever. There you go. Jyn Erso, the best. One of the most beautiful women in Star Wars. Can't say the same for Cara Dune. Yeah. I forgot to mention Kira from Solo. She's all the way back in my bedroom. Obviously the pop vinyl, not the real one. But yeah, there you go. Some daubs. The Chewbacca is way shorter than than Han, which is wrong because she should be taller than Han. Yeah, again, I apologise for all the dust. Oh yeah, Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. What's going on, Winston? He keeps slipping over. But yeah, I bet it's because he's not a doctor. That's why. There you go. And the Chase Jet Torrents, and I think that should seriously be there you go now. Except I really love this 4. Brilliant. Oh yeah, and Cyclops. Lastminute.com with Spider-Man. Yeah. Anyway, I think you should probably pause it here because you're probably bored already. And next up will be the cabinet. Okay, so now we're on to the cabinet. Right, so I've split it into sections. Well, tried to split it into sections. I mean, the top 2 rows indefinitely, and the 3rd row and the 4th row are definitely how I kind of want to split them, except everything else over here is kind of improvised a little bit. But the top row is just for, like, you know, the oversized ones, and I've got my Christmas calendar ones here, which is the Harry Potter Yule Ball. I didn't really collect any of the Yule Ball coin pops. I don't think I have any of the normal sized Yule Ball pops. The only character that I have in here already in normal form is Mad Eye Moody, who is over here. You may be able to see him hiding next to I'm about to call her Mrs. McGonagall, Professor McGonagall. I don't know if McGonagall was ever married, but, you know, J.K. Rowling can make something up, can't she? Right, so, yeah. So, over here, we've got the TARDIS with some keychains at the top. Both of the keychains here, the normal, I keep calling them the normal versions, as in the standard size, were Funko Shop exclusives, and there's no way I would have been able to get any of them, especially with the overpricing at the minute. So I got them as keychains, and I probably won't get any more. I don't think you'll be able to see, but there's a 4th Doctor variant hiding in the TARDIS. Can you see him? You can see this hat. Anyway, Davros is there. We've got Jaws, which is the Jaws exclusive from, Jaws, you know, because it's already... Anyway, that was like a Comic-Con exclusive where he's biting this guy, Quinn, I believe. We've got the Audrey 2 chase from Little Shop of Horrors. I might have overspent on that one. 30 quid at Comic-Con. I probably could have got the common, but well, chase sticker. Right, next we have Chucky over here with the Jack in the Box, Ronald McDonald and Radioactive Man, which I've already reviewed. But you can see that it actually kind of glows, even though they're not glow in the dark pops. So I think it's the red paint, but it actually looks really good, especially when when Radioactive Man is supposed to be, you know, radioactive. So some Star Wars over here. There you are, the Wampa. I've got him Tinkerbell, Tinky Winky, and a Black Labrador pop because I've owned Black Labradors as pets. Shame there isn't a budgie one. Charlie Brown and Patrick Star, the holiday versions, which I forgot I own, and they're kind of hiding in the background. A lot of Hanna-Barbera ones, like the Flintmobile, the only Flintstones pop I was ever able to buy. So I was really happy to be able to get that one. Can you see Atlas Gandalf? He's like my first pop I ever bought. He's hiding over there. You see him in the thumbnail of my first collection video. Anyway, he was the first one that I ever bought. And scrolling through Forbidden Planet and finding out the existence of these things is what brought me to this. So, yeah. Smelg, Sauron is also there. But you might not be able to see him. But got some anime ones, some Games vs. Marvel, and the Futurama variants over here of Goldbender and Blue Zoidberg. Over here it's just Mystery Minis and stuff like that. And some Kid Robots, which was essentially the prelude to Funko and Titans, Doctor Who. Disney with Beloved Alice over here next to Pinocchio, one of my most favourite Disney pops of all time. The Incredibles over here. I'll make sure to go back just in case I've missed anything. But there you go. You can see. Yeah, I collect a lot of the Disney princesses. Belle is my favourite, probably. And Jasmine. And Cinderella, and all of them, because they're all good, right? The glow-in-the-dark genie. The original genie is worth a lot now. Yeah, but I think I prefer this neat one anyway. And Peter Pan and Tinkerbell over here. Pretty good. I think the Peter Pan is also another good one. Some of the original Disney over here, like the old molds, Dopey and Grumpy. Also really good. And let's just close it here with the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse, and I'll continue forward because I want to split it so I can have a bit of a breather. So I'll spread it here for now. Carrying on forward, I just wanted to mention that I do have a Minnie Mouse as well, but she was hiding behind there, hence I didn't see her. Anyway, now that I've mentioned that and got that out of the way, because there's a lot of other stuff that I want to go back and mention that I forgot, because I kind of just keep going on and on and on that I forget to say stuff. So, looking on here, this is basically like rows of different series, like full series, and not like random ones that I've just stick together. So yeah, so we've got Dragon Ball, One Piece, Harry Potter, The Walking Dead, some Hanna-Barbera ones and Looney Tunes, DC and Marvel at the back. Yeah, Dragon Ball and One Piece, some of the best animes ever, and Master Roshi is my favorite one of my favorite Dragon Ball pops. Yeah, and Chi-Chi and Videl over here. One Piece, Zoro and Nami. Pretty good. When the first One Piece pops first came out, it's a very weird line because I wasn't even that far in, so I didn't know who any of the other characters really were. But the Luffy one will also be one of the best, even though his hat is way too big and kind of takes up a bit of space, but I think we'll be alright. Oh, Sanji and Hancock. Sanji is my favourite One Piece character of all time, and Hancock is one of the most beautiful women in One Piece. Even in the context of the anime as well. With the Harry Potter ones, I got Harry, Ron, Hermione in a free pack, and shout out to Volcus over here. I still own, I obviously am going to still own the 2 pops that I bought when there was a bit of a massive anime crossover at Toys R Us. So yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons it got shut down, because the shop nearly imploded once the 2 tubers collided. Scooby-Doo and yeah, Looney Tunes, like I've mentioned. The Scooby-Doo line is going up in value now, and so I'm happy to have actually got the full set when I did. And Daphne, right, I'm not even going to mention Velma. They will obviously just mention Velma, right? Batman and everything else over here. A lot of them are like earlier ones, so they look a bit weird. So the Wonder Woman doesn't look fantastic by any means, but some of the old pops are just, you know, like I say, classic. So, and with Marvel, that's just like the pops from the first series they ever did, and Mystique with the X-Men and everything else. Technically, you could say I don't have a full set because I've got a variant of Cyclops. But as far as I'm concerned, I've got a full set of the original X-Men. As far as I care, I have each of the characters from that original set, or versions from that set. So yeah, I do have the whole set. And I even made up for the Cyclops situation by getting the Daubs. So, right, yeah. Some more DC over here with Masters of the Universe. A new She-Ra is coming out apparently, so I will have to get that. But I have a Teela one. Some more Harry Potter and Walking Dead over here. I probably won't get any more Walking Dead ones now. I'm kind of just done with it now. I don't honestly really care for Walking Dead anymore. But I don't know if they do comics ones, and I might get some, but I'm not for definite. Right, some more Game of Thrones over here. Westworld, which I stopped caring about after Series 2. But not even Anthony Hopkins could say Series 2. But he makes Series 1 so great. So I would recommend Series 1, but don't bother to watch the rest. And she's just a mega feminist. Treehouse of Horror, and the dog is drinking some water, so if you hear that noise, that is the dog. Rick and Morty, Chucky and Tiffany, some Royal Family ones. I didn't readily opt to buy these. A family member had bought me William and Kate because it was reduced at Mankind, and I decided I'll get the Queen just to top it off. And Betty Veronica, yeah, even though I'm actually not completely impressed by them. I expected better, but let me just show off the Betty. One of the best molds, along with Leela from Futurama. Right, it's more so the Veronica one I don't like, but I have to get them. Right. Is there anything else I wanted to say? No, I think that's it for that, really. And over here, this is where it's all over the place. Just I'd like to give a little notice to Scooby-Doo, Flocked, and Yogi Bear. I just need a Hong Kong Phooey now, and I think I'm done, really. Yeah, there's not really much to say because I could go on and on and on, but like you say, it's just crazy, man. I go, oh, Widowmaker, and Daryl, sadly, over here. I apologise if I offend some of my viewers. It's supposed to be sarcastic. I can't help being the way I am. I'm just a mega simp. Hence why I buy a lot of. You may notice that I tend to buy the female characters from the set, probably because the female molds are actually kind of better, because the male molds back in the day used to be really blocky. But to be fair, with the new Doc Brown and Egon Spangler, yeah, I'm so glad they made these. Like I said, I've been waiting ages. And Dr. Egon Spangler the original one is really expensive because they retired that one after 2014 because the actor died. And yeah, and Doc Brown, I kind of did a review and kind of commented on that. But anything else that I want to mention? The Pikachu may be fake. That's a Hellboy chase, and I've allowed it to get dusty. Mr. Bean over there. James Bond is also there. Fleur Delacour. Oh, the dentist. Yeah, I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to drag this out because I think this is going to come to 45 minutes. So I think I'll use the remaining minutes of this cabinet just to give a little reflection on the on the Marvel. I spent too much on Yondu, but I'm glad I got him in the end. I think other things I wanted to say. I think the Thor one from Avengers 2 is my favourite. He's not here, but I forgot to mention I was being a bit lazy and I was tired. I just wanted to end that bit of the video soon as possible. Why is the dog making all that noise? He's waiting for food, probably. Yeah, Gold, Groot. Yeah, you can tell I'm getting tired now, can't you? I think, yeah, but I really hope you're impressed. There is one last bit I'm going to do to close this off. So I will do that now. And again, I am sorry for my remarks. I'm sorry, Betty Cooper. But I think Veronica is better in Riverdale, to be fair. Betty Cooper just goes on and on and on. Man. God. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Here is a Wacky Wobbler of Darth Vader and the Boggart Snape Mystery Mini. This is the second to last final bit of the video. I just thought I'd bring them in here first. Right, sorry, I just seem to forget to speak when I'm recording stuff. Yeah, totally bought the Wacky Wobbler way before I got even into Funko, so I'm glad I have at least one Wacky Wobbler, and at least it's Vader. And the snake looks a bit weird, but whatever, it's alright. Anyway, now we're on to the last bit. The remaining daubs. I don't know if the thing has just cut off the first bit of that, but anyway, these are the last daubs the last daubs bit, I don't even know. Anyway, just to quickly show off and make some final comments now. We got a Spock, but I'm just waiting for a new Captain Kirk Funko Pop to come out, because they've stopped making daubs, and I wish they'd make more, because I would have liked to have collected more of the Star Wars ones and get like versions of the characters that were vaulted, but it just doesn't matter now, especially with the Disney Store exclusives. And I think I might just make a comment on the Jason NES and the, you know, I don't even know. I think it's more so the Green Lantern, because I technically don't have a full set of Justice League pop vinyls, and I probably won't ever, because I'm thinking having the Green Lantern as a daubs will do, because he wasn't in it. It's not like he was in the Justice League movie, and I know there's supposed to be a Green Lantern movie coming out at some point. Hopefully it'll be good this time, but yeah, and some oversized ones with the Stay Puft. Yeah, and So some final comments that I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to mention the pop rocks, but you would have seen them, and they kind of go into the section of like the movies and stuff like that, really, because it's miscellaneous. I don't know how to say that word. Yeah. And what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh yeah, I tried to correct myself about the Minnie Mouse, and yeah, as in it was hiding behind the TARDIS. But you probably saw it by now. There's probably a lot of stuff that I forgot to mention, but I can't possibly mention everything. And like I say, there's a story for everything, and fact is, I'm assuming you don't need to be told who these characters are. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you already know who most of them are. Because sometimes it's like, I hope this video has been more entertaining. Because I know with some people it's just like, Ned Stark, Ghost Rider, Stay Puft. No, because otherwise it's just going to get bored, and I wouldn't be surprised if no one has actually made it this far. But yeah, I made the effort to actually do it. Okay? And we are done. This is done. We are through. We are done. That is it. That is over. We are done. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.